with your company though, you started it what, 3 years ago?
At the end of 2016, I started really, I think, selling stuff in like 2017.
The burnt egg roll.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you now is about like how did Mystic Fern come about in your mind?
Yeah, the way I looked at it was like, so a couple things. One, I was an art major in school, so where I never had an well, I had art classes going through high school. Like I remember in seventh grade, I made this really cool Charles Barkley inspired mug. So I've got this mug. It's not here actually in front of me. I got this Charles Barkley mug from seventh grade. I loved Charles Barkley back in the day. I mean,
Me,
I still
me
like
too.
him, right?
Yep.
But he was a beast.
Yeah.
And Phoenix Suns and all that. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's when I really got into Barkley. But
Yep.
yeah, so anyway, I never had any classes other than like seventh grade art.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, man, I'm artistic. I grew up, doing stuff like my mom and grandma, I remember, would like make ornaments for the Christmas bazaar at school and stuff. So like I was always like doing little painting stuff and this and that. Anyway, then decided to make a major in that. So like that's what so graphic design. I was trying to tie in my creativity with like funny like humor, right? Like that's kind of like part of marketing. So that was kind of my thought. So then we lived in Iowa for a little bit, and in Des Moines there's this T-shirt shop that would like just put funny sayings on T-shirts. Like I still have one that says "I'm more than just a pretty face." So like that T-shirt shop just sold that type of stuff, and I was like, yo, I've got like I had one of my friends, one of my teammates would always say like I was the king of one-liners. Like I'll come up with funny little like timely like comedic. So that's part of it. Like the ethos of it is like comedy, making people laugh, and which is always something I always try to be as a teammate, right? Like I always felt like I was somebody that really would bring folks together. So that was and you can do that with music. So music's tied into that. All my influences of everything, spiritually, like just sponging everything up, and then and then having an expression to get that out, right? Like creating,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, like you think about it, like you're good at something in life, right? Like I was good at baseball. That was just one thing I was good at, but I believe you're good at more than one thing that you could,
Yeah, whatever you put your time into
go
to
after.
develop.
Go,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you saw that Kanye, his Joe Rogan interview. He talked about time as love, which I've always understood that, and I know that, but like that was a cool thing I heard him say. Like I connected with that, right? Like what you love to do, you put your most time into, and that's like the most valuable thing you can have is time. And so
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so then I was like, all right, I'm gonna start screen printing. So when I was in art school or whatever, I I always liked printmaking. I like making prints. I like the process of like what that looks like, whether it's a wood cut or like there's all different types, right? I think it's called mono. Oh my God, I can't even think of the name now because I don't live in the art world anymore. But yeah, anyway, we do these different prints. And
Uh-huh.
so I was into it. And then, so screen printing, that's something we never did. But then that t-shirt company, like I just mentioned, they, I was like, oh, that kind of got me thinking about screen printing, putting stuff on clothes. So then it's like wearable art, right? And then, from there too, it's like, my sense of style. Like I would say one thing from sports culture. So sports is part of that, right? Like that ethos of like, you wear tennis shoes all the time. I'm a sneakerhead, not like crazy where I'm like, I don't have hundreds of boxes, but I've got a lot of tennis shoes. And I don't have
Yeah,
anything I don't wear. I don't have anything I don't wear,
I
but I've
like
got
that.
like I counted. I've got like over 20 pair of tennis shoes that I wear in a rotation that are just for wearing out and about. And some get more daylight than others, but
Right, right.
regardless, they all get worn. And but and then that like, so I always had my own sense of style. I feel like my sense of style is different than yours, which it is. Everybody's is unique. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like you're expressing yourself through. I always express myself through like clothing the best I could. You know, and then sports, like talking about the Mystic Fern, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
think staying fit and in shape is important, in my lifestyle. So like that's kind of something that I try to incorporate. It maybe not, it doesn't come off on the surface, but like just everything about who I am, I try to like put out into different designs or like color combos. Like I try to make different, like this combo here I really like, but like playing with color, that experimental side of it is fun. Which I started out doing screen printing with it, right? Like I was just doing black ink on a white t-shirt or whatever, but I was kind of limited in that. And then I started seeing different color. I'm like, oh, I'd like to be able to print on different colors and just expanding what my knowledge was. So then I started dyeing clothes, like hoodies. I think that was a big thing. I wanted to be able to screen print something on the hood, what I didn't know what that was necessarily, but I'm like, so then that kind of took me down on a journey of its own because you think about back to sports culture and even music culture, right? Entertainment. I feel like it all is intertwined, and so it's like you're going from like say you're on a team. So like I say, you're at a hotel, which is what minor leagues you do or pro sports. You're at a hotel. You go from the hotel to the field or the stadium or whatever it is, and then then you get dressed, and then you're kind of going out with that. Like if you're gonna go get dinner because you're gonna be hungry, then like that's what you're gonna wear typically, right? So like you're kind of wearing what you're gonna like. It can go any direction. It's gonna be versatile, I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? And so that's where sneakers comes into play. Like to this day, I don't wear a lot of sandals. Like I want to have like a pair of tennis shoes on, so I might have to take off running. Not to say that I ever anticipate that, but I'm just saying like you've been out and about and like your what is it you call like a thong sandal? Your thong sandal breaks. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah,
want that. Like, I don't, I'm kind of going a little bit off here, but like, I don't want to
it's
have
all
it.
good.
I want to be comfortable. I'm not going up. I'm just saying like, that's kind of where like, I like to be comfortable all the time. And so that's where the shoes is part of the influence as well. So then I make stuff that matches my shoes, right? So here, check this out. Like, I actually got a compliment at the grocery store today when I went with my family for like one of the workers or whatever. But they were like, I like your outfit, but it's like, so I got these pair of like Air Max ones
Yeah,
that I rock with
those
this
are
one.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, and the lighting's whatever, but yeah. So
I like your whole outfit
anyway,
today, man. It looks dope. It's pretty
I
sweet.
appreciate that. So yeah, that's kind of it in a
So
nutshell, man. I know we're kind of getting low on time. So
with your company though, you started it what, 3 years ago?
at the end of 2016, I started really, I think, selling stuff in like 2017.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Where can people find your stuff at?
Yeah, so I've got a website. It's mysticfern.com. Mysticfern.com.
This concludes our danse macabre.